particularly valuable early education in being able to ride under varying types of pressure. Again, Stella Johnson making her championship debut here. This is her first time riding for the Netherlands. As we said a moment ago when we saw our individual rider for the Czech Republic, Adela Musilova, you never know exactly how the pressure will hit you until you're already in the ring. Even traveling around the outside of the ring, you don't quite know. There's something about crossing that invisible threshold at A and entering the ring. Do you get in the zone? Do you block the world out around you? Do the doubts come flooding in? Some people get laser focused, some people have racing minds, and it's all about understanding your own strengths and weaknesses, your own individual mental journey, working with yourself to your own advantage and learning how to still the noise and sharpen that focus. But Stella Johnson on her championships debut here, riding really maturely. We've seen some lovely work in the ring. Perhaps a little bit abrupt in that transition into the simple change there. The temptation can be to go a little bit to the hand rather than the leg. And it can be a little bit tricky as well with some of these ponies, and especially the more traditional pony builds. They can have very big, strong shoulders, and they're often quite hot and energetic ponies as well. That takes a lot of riding to manage all of that energy. But no mistakes so far. That final halt and salute there for Stella Johnson, our Dutch Pathfinder, and Geronimo Teonga. Just a very, very cute pony. A talented athlete, but also just a lovely stump to look at.
He represents the Netherlands for the first time at the Europeans with the 7 years of age pony Geronimo.
So a really exciting start there for our championship debutantes. 15-year-old rider making her Europeans debut, and 7-year-old pony, again just one of the youngest ponies in the field there, so really gaining some valuable experience, but also a team that expects to come here and be very competitive, so the pressure on to make it happen in the ring here. We just wait for their scores to come in. We are getting a look at some provisional scores here. In just a moment we will have our confirmed scores, and they come in now. So from E, 64.571, judge at H, 66.571, judge at C, 65, judge at M had them in second place, 68.286, and the judge at B, 64.857, giving a total score 65.857. That puts Stella Johnson and Geronimo Teonga, and indeed the Netherlands, into third place at the moment. So very early stages of this competition. We're still working through our first rider rotation, but provisional hold on the bronze medal for the Netherlands for now. Lots to come, lots of change to happen, and lots of ponies and riders left to see. And next up, we will be moving just one border over on the map of Europe to Belgium. Pauline Halen riding Glückskind. This is a 9-year-old Baden-Württemberg gelding by the stallion Hesseltijk's Golden Dream, after the mare Kylie by the stallion Kiribati. Pauline riding this pony for Veronique de Becker. Quite a new partnership, this. This is a pony that was previously ridden by Marie Tugels of Belgium, but both pony and rider again making a championship debut here, sitting number 56 on the world rankings. And Pauline just had her 13th birthday. It's really at the start of her pony career. Riders are eligible to compete in these championships from the age of 12 to the age of 16. So we're looking at the start of a very exciting partnership here. Haven't seen them break the 70s barrier yet in any of their tests, but they do tend to be high 60s scorers, and a high 60s score at the moment would mean an awful lot in this competition. Highest we've seen so far, 67.143, which came from Great Britain's Georgie Morgan and Brewers Haven's Jasper. And it's helped them the lead ever since. So let's see what our Belgian friends can do. Just two more ponies and riders, two more nations to come forward after Pauline. And that will see us at the end of our first rider rotation. So we will have our first rider for Germany, who are our reigning champion.
Nous allons ensuite réaccueillir maintenant avec Saskia Thiel, longée par répéter à Kiwit. C'est vraiment soyez bienvenue, regardez, qui est travaillé sur la et Jessica King. Et le vent, s'il vous plaît, pour encore une fois saluer la Grande-Bretagne. Un petit peu plus fort encore. Allez, jusqu'à la sortie, s'il vous plaît. In our junior sports rainbow competition this morning, je vous souhaite. On va rester en compagnie du bleu pour accueillir cette fois celui de l'Italie avec Robert Redford, cinquième du Nord, longé par Nelson Alcides Vidoni. Allez, vos applaudissements, s'il vous plaît, pour accueillir l'Italie. Cucina stellata di avanzo vero, santissimo grazie. Un plaisir à accueillir maintenant l'équipe qui s'y remporté les championnats du monde dans le stade de Bras. Allez, un peu plus fort, s'il vous plaît, pour accueillir le championnat voici World Championship country in Australia, 700 Austria, the champion Ponies and it's very well, the country so the world man in the first. Révélation qui défend à titre de champion du monde obtenu chez nous, passé à tout à l'heure. Et aussi maintenant de signaler l'équipe qui défend la médaille d'argent dans le dernier championnat d'Europe. Voici la Suisse. Allez, allez, on va plus voir le marron, s'il vous plaît, comme ça, la Suisse. Donc, les exemples, et donc, les vidéos représentent pour le cheval. Allez, on doit pour la Suisse, solitario, le rocher par as a physician that I was a student in the that was the divine strategy they had manifested. Si maintenant nous allons prendre plaisir à accueillir la Slovaquie dans cette compétition pour l'instant, eh bien, c'est l'Italie qui a pris l'avantage par le français. Voici l'équipe Just this morning.
A kiedy odchádzasz, vo mne zostávaš, ako mesiac odrazí. svoju tvár v nočných tmách na oceán. Tak aj ja budem tvojím odrazom v prúde dní, čo si nájde cestu von do všetkých svetových strán. Každá bolesť, myslím, že to vieš, učí dušu rásť. Krok vpred a dva vzad, chcem len pravdu nájsť, kým srdce spí. Aj keď odchádzaš, na veky zostávaš, ako mesiac odrazí svoju tvár v nočných tmách na oceán. Tak aj ja budem tvojím odrazom v prúde dní, čo si nájde cestu von do všetkých svetových strán. A keď odchádzam, na veky zostávaš, čo cítiš, viem, lebo to cítim tiež, ako mesiac odrazím svoju tvár v nočných tmách na oceán. Tak aj ja budem tvojím odrazom v prúde dní, čo si nájde cestu von do všetkých svetových strán.
Allez, la seule équipe, Cristal, le Ponies, allez, encore, le monde continue de se chauffer.
There's our sixth nation competing here this morning in our junior squads, 91 compulsory. Slovakia with the horse Crystal and Zimbabwean Slovakia, Belanja.
Allez, un petit point sur le classement. L'Italie est en tête devant l'Autriche et la France. 7,10, 6,5, 6,2. Allez, on continue maintenant. Le plaisir d'accueillir l'équipe championne d'Europe en titre, la nation championne d'Europe en titre pour l'Allemagne. Voici Kalidor, l'envoi par Inès Navrot. Voici l'entrée de Jana Dullman, Lina Alting-Dagoglu, Antonia Paoli, Mira Lennon, Mena Mertens et Eva-Marie Groner.
As we're to Germany now, who are the current European champions joining us this morning with Canada 10, launched by Ines and with Jana Dullman, with Lina Alting-Dagoglu, Antonia Paoli, Mira Lennon, Monon Mertens and Eva-Marie Groner. For the moment, France, we saw third place, second place for Austria, and Italy is in the lead with 7.153. Germany and finally Russia. Russia will be our final nation this morning in our junior squads.
Les voltigeuses allemandes avec Caliban longé par Inès Navot.
And that is our German junior squad team with Kelly Burton and Ines Villinger.
Et on va conclure avec une dernière équipe pour ces imposés de l'épreuve squad. Nous allons maintenant avoir plaisir, avec vos applaudissements, plaisir à accueillir la Russie avec Cooper, longé par Andrea Harvart. Voici l'entrée de l'équipe composée de Nina Tretiakova, de Maria Alisova, d'Arina Vasilevskaya, de Darina Urdina, d'Olga Borisova et de Kira Vinogradova.
And from our junior squad who joins us now, competing for Russia with the horse Cooper, 109, launched by Andrea Hardrock with the Nina Petrikova, Maria Alisova, Arina Velisivskaya, Marina Udana, Olga Borisova, and Kira Vinogradova.
Allez, encore un peu plus fort, s'il vous plaît, pour saluer la Russie, avec Cooper, mangé par Andrea Arban. Un peu plus fort pour saluer Nina, Maria, Marina, Karina, Elsa et Shira.
Tests might not end at the same time, so there might be applause from another test that finishes early that can spook them. Equally, on the other hand, it can also be very difficult to come into a big atmospheric arena and be the only pony and rider in there. Can sometimes lead to a bit of a feeling of insecurity, feeling like you're in a goldfish bowl and your pony just desperately wants to get back to his friends. So you just have to work with what you've got. And Ludovica, really some lovely work in the ring there. Really beautiful pony here. You see huge pats for her. Making her European Championships debut here, and you can just see what it means to her and what this pony means to her. She gives him some big hugs around the neck, both fists up in the air in celebration. She clutches her helmet. She's done it. She is a European Championships rider for her country, for Italy. That achievement cannot be underestimated. It takes a huge amount of work and a huge amount of dreaming, and even then the odds of making it this far are so slim. So to be here means a huge amount for these riders, for the support teams around them, and you can just see Ludovica's celebrations there. Ludovica Purpura and Macho, her 17-year-old gelding, her last year of eligibility for ponies, and it just means the world to her. So we'll just stand by for those scores as we get a first glimpse at Mamie Gangloff of France. Eldo Jadot Belair. This is a 12-year-old gelding by Volupté de Bourdon out of Quetoile, in the Niafre, by the stallion Vodka Tutil. This pony is owned by Mamie the rider. So both making their championship debut. Rider going to be turning 16 in just a couple of weeks' time. So a good finish this weekend would be a lovely early birthday present for Mamie. Saw them do that pony selection trial at Hagen in June. They did a 65.657 in this team test there. So let's see what they can do for us today. We have a score in for Ludovica Purpura of Italy and Macho. From the judge at E, it's a 65.857. From the judge at H, 64.857. From the judge at C, 64.714. Judge at M, 64.857. And the judge at B, 64.714. Giving us a total score of 65%. So at the moment, that will put her just behind her fellow countryman, Leonardo Samoraro. He scored a 65.086. And she scored a 65, so 11th best on the leaderboard as it stands, but this is not an individual competition, this is a team competition. And as before, we will have a look at what the team standings are looking like at the close of this second rider rotation. So all eyes on to France at the moment. first French rider that we saw this morning, Lorette Vola-Belandi, WS Jackson. They put a 65.657 on the board. So that would see the French team sitting around 8th at the moment. Score so far of the day at 73.543 from Germany's Victoria Winkman and Peach. Germany, the reigning champions here, so we are always going to be expecting the big marks out of them. But if we can see a score in the high 60s here, then that would put France in a very, very good position indeed. And 65.657 in the last ride through of this test for this pair. Losing perhaps a little bit of energy into that transition into the walk in the simple change there. Picks it back up again nicely for Mimi Gangloff, Aldor, Jador, Belair. Applause from the French supporters there. Big pats for Eldo Jadot-Belair from Mimi Gangloff. 12-year-old pony, 15-year-old rider, just about to turn 16, making her championship debut. So we have a look to see. We've got some scores coming in here.
Issu du croisement voluptueux pour montrer vodka, FEI Dressage qui va obtenir ses notes dans quelques instants de les 5 débuts de luge. Juste après, on partira avec.
So scores in for Mimi Gangloff and Eldo Jadot-Belair, representing the host nation, France. From the judge at E, 67.857. From the judge at H, 63. From the judge at C, 65.571. From the judge at M, 66.714. And from the judge at B, 68.857 for a total score of 66.4. Putting them 6th best at this early stage. So 2 scores now in the bag for host nation France. So we move on to Team Finland. So Finland fielding a team, but we have not yet seen them. That is because they have 3 riders. So our 3 rider teams did not go in our first rotation, but will all come forward in the second one. And so our Finnish Pathfinder that we see in front of us is Eino Halasari riding Fairy Tale Twilight. This is a 16-year-old gelding, unknown breeding, owned by the rider. This is going to be a first European Championships for both pony and rider, but they were part of this year's Nordic Baltic Championships and took part in 2024 as well. The Finnish team won team bronze both times, but Aino and Fairy Tale Twilight were on the team at the Nordic Baltics. The competition took place this year in the tail end of June in Strömsholm. They scored a 64.476 on that occasion. They have not yet broken the 70 barrier, but we have seen some variable marks from them. So this will be Aino's last year of eligibility for Pony Europeans. 16 years old. Comes in with that great Nordic Baltic Championship experience, ready to make it count in the ring today. So welcome to Le Mans, to our friends from Finland. just finishing their test there. Finland's Eino Helsar, Fairy Tale Twilight. 16-year-old pony, 16-year-old rider. First line Finnish riders for their 3-berth team. So just wait for some scores to come in for them. We have a 64 from the judge at E, 63.714 from the judge at H, 59.429 from the judge at C, 63.143 from the judge at M, and a 62.286 from the judge at B, giving a total of 62.514 to get Finland's team competition underway here. So next up to bat, we will have another team that we didn't see in that first rider rotation, just another 3-rider team here. This time it's Austria and Katarina Steininger riding Coco Chanel KS. So another 16-year-old pony here. This is a mare by the stallion Pedro, out of Cami Abildskov by Sana Venture, owned by Britta Steininger. Katarina, one of the youngest riders in this year's field, just 12 years old, the youngest age of eligibility for FEI Pony European Championships. Pony has been to the European Championships before. We saw Coco Chanel KS here in 2024 at the European Championships under Nelly Court of Austria. Katarina made her FEI debut this year at the end of April at Gösendorf with this pony. They won the team test and the individual test there. This is just her 4th ever FEI competition. Pretty reliably mid-60s scorers, which will put them in good company at this early stage. Ranked 93rd in the world at the moment. So we welcome our Austrian pathfinder, Katarina, just waiting for that bell to go to signal welcome into the ring. And that bell goes there and gives her 45 seconds to get into the arena at A. It's a lot more time than you'd think, and she is very nearly there already. So you've just got to keep your head after you hear that bell go. Don't let it disrupt your preparation. Final few adjustments in. Last couple of preparatory half halts and enter at A, and away you go. You should see her glancing to the left there to get a sense of where that judge's box is. Get her marker right. Aim not to leave any marks on the table for geometric imprecisions. Just see that earlier we had a pony who wanted to swing its haunches in the canter. This pony a little bit the opposite, wanting to swing its haunches out a little bit, and as we just got that rear view of them travelling down the long side, you can just see Katerina working hard with her outside leg just to move him back onto a straight line, get that balance, get that energy shift back onto the hindquarters. And trending bang on in the mid-60s at the moment, 65.36, the last trending score here for this pair. Slowly and incrementally going up, 65.759. Really getting some of their best marks in this canter work. Pardon me, 0.938. Every pony, and indeed probably every rider, has their party piece in the ring, and for this pony it's definitely the canter work. Nicely done there from Austria's Katerina Steininger. Coco Chanel KS. Huge cheers from their followers and support team. As we just wait for that confirmed score, we saw that edging closer and closer to a 66 as we were watching the trending scores there. So we'll have confirmation of our final score in just a moment's time.
After that, we'll go to Great Britain.
So while we wait for Katerina Steininger's score, one more rider and pony in the ring before our next and final judging break of the morning. Back to Great Britain this time, and Amelia Goodear riding Furioso Van Het Enkershof. We'll see them in just a moment's time. This will be an 11-year-old gelding by Colin Hages Furioso out of Grootsmene, owned by Claire Goodear, ridden by Amelia Goodear. Second rider rotation for Great Britain. We have already seen a test from Georgie Morgan and Brewers Haven's Jasper, our British Pathfinders, sitting fourth individually at the moment. They did hold the lead for quite a while there for Great Britain. 67.143 was their score. 73.543 is the score to beat for Germany, currently holding them firmly in the lead. Denmark sitting not too far behind, just over a penalty behind on a 72.4. Belgium sitting in team bronze at this very early juncture, thanks to a 68.286 from Pauline Halen. So these second round riders now looking to make some impact on the scoreboard now that we have an early lay of the land established. So just see Amelia Goodear, Furioso Van Het Enkershof entering into the arena here. Partnerships from Derbyshire in the north of England. Called Fury at home. He has been produced by Amelia since a 4-year-old, now 11. 7 years together. They had their first international win at Hickstead this year in the freestyle. They also were the leading score in the team test there. We saw them do the team test at Wellington as well in Hampshire. That was a 63.714 that they scored at that time. They did put a 70 on the board when they won at Hickstead back in May. So they are capable of some very competitive scores. This is a European Championships debut, both for pony and for rider. Amelia, 15 years old. We do have a confirmed score in for Austria and for Katerina Steininger and Coco Chanel KS. From the judge at E, that was a 67. Judge at H gave that a 65.429. 65 from the judge at C, 65.286 from the judge at M, and from the judge at B, a 66.571. Final score is 65.857. which puts them equal 7th. Same score as Stella Johnson and Geronimo Teonga, our Dutch pair from that first rider rotation. So Austria and the Netherlands on even keel at the moment, vying for that 7th place position on the team leaderboard, but still plenty of action to come as we look to nearly the midway point of the second rider rotation and the entry at A for our second round British rider Amelia Goodyear and Furioso van Het Enkershoff, or Fury to his friends. So a nice early start there. Our trending scores from that entry sitting evenly on a 70 at the moment. And again, 70 is the score that they scored, the score that they posted in this team test at Hickstead just a couple of months ago. So very much within their wheelhouse to be able to put a score like that on the board, which would be a valuable score indeed for Great Britain. That's a very elegant pony with a lot of lateral step there. And Amelia must be given a huge amount of credit. She's had this pony since a 4-year-old. 7 years together. Amelia just 15, so you can imagine starting to put the foundations on this pony when she was just 8 herself. And they're very good foundations indeed. So still trending up around that 70 mark. Very slight dip down to 69.75 at the moment. So trending score just moving ever so slightly down to 68.824 at the moment. Still a very good trending score that would put them ahead of teammates Georgie Morgan and Brewers Haven's Jasper. And third in our current standings, but plenty of tests left to come as they come into the halt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps back. And step away and collected canter. Very good there on that give and retake of the reins. No discernible difference in the horse's frame, or the pony's frame, sorry. And that final halt and salute for Great Britain's Amelia Goodear and Furioso Van Het Enkeshoff. Big hug around the neck for the pony she's produced all the way through from a 4-year-old. And our scores in already for them: 69.286 from the judge at E, 69.429 from the judge at H, 69.857 from the judge at C, 70.143 from M, and 68.429 from B give us a total of 69.429. That is our third best score that we've seen so far. Slips in just behind Denmark and makes great early strides there for Great Britain. So our 2 British riders so far, 2 of our top 5 scores so far as well. So very, very good from them. Now that takes us into our last judging break of the morning. Slightly shorter one this time. We will be back in about 24 minutes. 11:14 local time, 10:14 a.m. if you're watching along from the UK. And that will take us into the second part of our second rider rotation. So Ella Gerlin, Piri Piri of Sweden, will lead us away. And we will have 6 more tests to watch before we reach the end of today's competition. So we will have a look at those. Sweden, the Netherlands, Belgium, one of our individual competitors for Croatia. Back to Germany, currently looking solid in their bid to retain their title from last year. Denmark, who might just have been edged off the... Sorry, they have not just been edged off the provisional podium. It's Belgium who's just been edged off the provisional podium, but we will see Denmark, who are currently sitting silver. So we'll have a look at all those tests, and then we will assess our overnight leaderboard in this team competition. So our first 2 rider rotations completed today at the end of this last judging break, and then tomorrow we will be back with our final 2 rider rotations and the awarding of team medals. So hold tight, we will be back in about 20 minutes, and we will be halfway through the competition then. So very, very exciting stuff here. We'll join you again shortly. 11:14 a.m. local time, 10:14 a.m. British time. See you then.
Après, tu peux mettre ta caméra pour faire un peu d'ambiance. Avec le téléphone. Ouais, c'est ça, comment ça fait un musique, tu auras les deux, demain, ça.
C'est pour Keep My House?
Pardon?
C'est pour Keep My House ou c'est pour...
C'est pour la chaîne sur YouTube, etc. Là, la chaîne. Le nom de la. Je suis désolée, je connais pas le nom du site. Je peux. Attendez, je
Il y a
regarde.
soit c'est Keep My House, soit c'est
Ça doit
sur
être
la TV. Ouais. Il y a une fille qui me demande là, comment ça concert
Clip Horse, c'est ça? Clip My Horse, oui,
Keep
c'est
My
ça.
House, c'est ça. D'accord.
Désolée.
D'accord.
Et vous savez où est-ce que. Alors, Clip My Horse, au moins, c'est la voltige. Je sais pas s'ils peuvent choisir celui qu'ils préfèrent. Enfin, je veux dire, là, je vois qu'il y a un lien pour la voltige.
Ouais.
Donc peut-être qu'ils peuvent sélectionner s'ils veulent la piste bleue ou.
Ah ouais. Mais c'est un accès gratuit ou bien c'est...
Mais aucune idée.
Ah ouais. Bah, je vais dire...
D'ailleurs, je me demandais, est-ce que vous savez où se trouver les plannings des journées?
je peux là aussi dans le show office, là, comme... Oui, ça...
Ouais,
Voilà. Le départ, c'est ça, vous savez qui...
oui, voilà, c'est ça. On peut suivre
Ouais.
le déroulé des journées.
Bah, nous, on les juges les ondes, donc en fait, parce que je peux l'avoir aussi, hein, demander la startlist.
Ouais, je vais aller voir.
Ouais, ouais.
Oui, je t'entends. Merci beaucoup.
Et on continue avec la 4e partie et donc la dernière de cette première journée de compétition pour le dressage. Il est 11h passé de 13 minutes. Bienvenue donc à la 2e coéquipière de la Suède et il s'agit donc d'Ella Gerlins qui va courir son premier championnat d'Europe après 2 championnats d'Europe en tant que children. Elle a d'ailleurs obtenu en 2024 une 4e place par équipe, en 2025 également avec un cheval qui s'appelait Madcap. Maintenant c'est Pipiri qu'elle monte, Piri pardon, qu'elle monte actuellement pour son premier championnat d'Europe poney. Voici Ella Gerlins, second Swedish team member after 2 fourth place with the
So welcome back for our final session of Ponies and Riders in this morning's team competition here at the FEI Pony European Dressage Championships. We are looking ahead to the final 6 competitors of today's competition in this first day of bids for those team medals, which will be awarded tomorrow afternoon. So first in this last session will be Ella Gerlin riding Piri Piri for Sweden. It's a 14-year-old gelding by Charavari out of Laura Piano by Laudanos, owned by Camilla Godland and Ingrid Gerlin. Ella Gerlin is 15. She did the Children Europeans on horses last year with Madcap of Thiel, finished team 4th, and also did that competition in 2024 as well, also finished team 4th on that occasion. With this pony, she competed at the Nordic Baltic Championships in 2025 and 2026. Sweden finishing 2nd in 2025 and team gold medalists last month at the 2026 Nordic Baltic Championships. Also won bronze in the freestyle there. We saw this pair score a 70.238 in that team test at the Nordic Baltics, so high hopes indeed for Ella Gerlin and Piri Piri. We've seen 1 score for Sweden so far. That was for Samantha Armbach and Mr. Primetime. They put a 66.971 on the board to put Sweden just behind Great Britain at that early juncture. So well in the hunt. So that's 70.238 in the last run through of this test at the Nordic Baltic Championships. Currently trending on a 70.125 at this early stage of this test. Again, our leader in the clubhouse at the moment, Victoria Winkman for Germany with Peach, 73.543. So it's still trending in that 70 window, 70.333 at the moment. Steadily creeping upwards as well, 70.412 on the last trending score, which would be, if they could finish on it, good enough for third best test so far, as we're coming towards this halfway point of the team competition. So scores looking very consistent as we make our way through this test with Ella Jalen and Piri Piri still sitting just finally right around 70.583 currently trending. And they have stayed pretty bang on there or thereabouts since their first entry into the ring. So very consistent, very professional test here from this pair for Sweden. Just eking out a few more crucial marks in this canter work as they work around the very unbothered looking pigeons that have decided to hold down the fort on the centre line there. 70.931, just tipping up a moment ago towards, or into 71. Continuing that upward trend, trending 71.125 at the moment. They have just stayed on what would be third best of the day so far throughout this test from top to bottom. So let's see how they finish up as they do their final halt and salute there. Really, really nice work for Ella Jalen and Piri Piri of Sweden. A very, very workmanlike test that could be about to better their score from that Nordic Baltic Championships last month, where Team Sweden did finish in gold. So let's just wait for that confirmed score to come in, and that is in now. So from our judge at E, we have a 72.571. Judge at H gives it 72.286, 70.143 from the judge at C, 70.286 from the judge at M, and 72.286 from the judge at B. So that gives them a final score of 71.514. They do better their Nordic Baltic Championships test score, which had them at 70.238, but 71.514 today, third best test of the day so far, and that is going to be an important one for Sweden. They also have Samantha Armbach and Mr. Primetime on a 66.971. Individually, that is the seventh best test of the day so far. So well in the hunt now as we welcome our second Dutch rider of the day into the ring. This is Feline Bosklu-Karsains riding Shakira. It's a 15-year-old mare by the stallion Orlando out of Sandra by Kludvig Hoovers Volta, owned by Herman Bosklu and Miriam Karsains. This is the first European Championships for this pony, but the rider is a veteran of the 2024 Children on Horses European Championships with Heaven's Voice. Dutch team won team gold on that occasion, so she's well versed with riding under pressure and delivering. 16 years old, so in her last year of eligibility for these Pony European Championships. she will not be here just to take part. Their last recorded score in this team test is a 69.381 at Kronenberg in November. They have done a team test this year but did not complete it, so they have a thing or two to prove today, but they have been selected with good reason. So Feline, Bosclu, Carsains, Shakira just making their final preparations before entering the arena. Netherlands, of course, silver medalists here in this team competition at the Pony European Championships 12 months ago. The Germans will take a lot of beating, the reigning title holders, but the Dutch would absolutely love to usurp them on that podium. Quite flashy paces here. We see that extended trot across the long diagonal, but we just will see them lose a couple of marks there. So that a lot of that flash you see comes out of the horse's front end. Not quite enough power coming through from the hind end in that early stage, which can happen a little bit when these horses and ponies get a little bit hot or tense in the ring, or if the rider has not quite yet established the connection from leg to hand. So in those extensions coming up throughout the test, we will look to be seeing more power from behind there. That extended trot, just a little bit costly for them. Currently trending on a 66.333. They were, their first entrance put them much more around a 70. But there's plenty of tests to get through here and plenty of climbing that they will be able to do. So some nice work through this walk tour here, pushing them just a little bit up the leaderboard. Trending on a 67.25 at the moment, which as it stands would be the 6th best test of the day, but still plenty to come here. Both in this test and in the class, but a lot of test left to come. Nice transition up into trot. They start to see a little bit more of that sit behind, a little bit more of that power. And to see the horse's shoulder almost, or the pony's shoulder almost looking as though it's coming upward from the hind end. You see lots of action and bend. Trending score currently 67. Oh, it's just gone up to a 68.038. So really developing this test as it plays out in front of us. Nice, simple change, and then step back up into the canter there. Considered. So, final halt and salute there for Feline Bosklu, Carsains and Shakira of the Netherlands, our second Dutch rider and pony of the day. Just going to wait for that final score to come in. They were hovering around 68.5 on the trending scores, which would be the fifth best test of the day so far, and another very good result for the Netherlands. But we will just wait to see where that lands. We've already had another rider from the Netherlands earlier, Stella Johnson, Geronimo Teonga, 65.5, 857 for them. And now we have Feline Bosklu, Carsains, Shakira, 71 from the judge at E, 68.429 from the judge at H, 67.571 from the judge at C, and a 68.429 from M, and at B we see a 68.714. That is a total score of 68.829. Fifth best test of the day so far. That will be valuable for the Netherlands. Won't see them take over a podium spot yet, but we're still waiting to see those second round riders for Germany, who currently sit in the lead, and Denmark, who currently sit in silver medal position. So we go to Belgium next. They held on to bronze position after the first rotation of riders. Lots and lots of movement happening on the leaderboard at the moment. This is Ella June Bryers riding Decline of Prince. This is a 12-year-old Westphalian gelding by FS Daddy Cool out of the mare Grace, who is by the stallion Going Top. Owned by the rider Ella June. This is their second season together, the pony previously ridden by Tyra Marie Eggers of Germany. This is European Championships debut both for pony and for rider. Ella June is 14 years old. Tend to be mid to high 60s scorers, but we have seen them go into the 70s before. Sit 31st in the world rankings. And Ella June has also started to compete in junior classes now with her horse Jimmy, so getting mileage at those higher levels that she can then bring back down and use her experience to develop this slightly lower level test. We have already, of course, seen one Belgian rider this morning, and that was Pauline Halen. She rode Glückskind to a 68.286. Which is good enough for 6th in the current standings. As I say, after that first rider rotation, that was enough to put Belgium into provisional bronze medal position. So Ella June, trending on a 70.5 at the moment, is looking to put them back onto the podium. A real unmissable support team, the Belgians, in their red tops there. Maintaining some nice momentum there in the half pass. Probably not, when we don't have a totally fortuitous view of it here, as we are at a slight angle to the arena, but probably not quite as much crossover and lateral step as we'd like, but nice to see the momentum maintained. Yeah, a perfect half pass will maintain the rhythm and have a lot of lateral step, but often you see one thing slightly sacrificed in exchange for the other. Generally, it is rhythm that ends up being sacrificed in exchange for lateral step, but that does then have a knock-on effect on the next movements. Maintaining rhythm so important through the extensions, through the collections, through the lateral work. You'd love to think that if the judges were to be blindfolded, they wouldn't necessarily be able to tell what movement you're on because the footfall would sound the same. It would just be the shape and the intention and the direction of the steps visually that would change. Of course, those half passes in this test are marked on a coefficient of 2, which means that they are the scores that you receive for them appear twice on the scorecard. So if you get a very high score, that's excellent. It is doubly valued. If you get a very low score, it is doubly expensive. We did just see a little bit of a drop off in marks after that half pass, just getting penalised a bit, I think, probably for missing out on some of that lateral step. Currently trending on a 66.706. There's a lot to like with this pony and rider, but there's also a lot of little spaces where you can just see that they might be working on the development for the rest of the tests this week, the rest of the season to come, and the years to come ahead of them. Like a few ponies that we've seen today, just some moments where the contact, the connection is maybe not totally 100% there. Manifests with this pony in a little bit of head tilt, which can then just throw the shoulders and the haunches a little bit out of alignment, which does make things like those lateral movements a touch tricky to get totally spot on. This is another pony as well that travels a little bit haunches in that extended canter, which takes away the ability to totally sit and push and show that very clear transition. Ella June doing a nice job here. Just comes a little bit above the bridle in that transition. And we see the give and retake of the reins. You just see there, fractionally just coming onto the forehand in that give and retake. The nose poking out, the neck lengthening for a second there. It's not a movement that's asking for the horses to stretch. That is a movement that we sometimes see in some tests. Certainly that's a big part of the eventing dressage tests that we can see at some levels. This is asking for the rein contact to be taken away and for the pony to maintain its self-carriage. Again, a simple change here. Nice transition up into canter there. And final halt and salute. Huge pats, huge hug around the neck for Decliner Prince. Eligene Bryers of Belgium just going to wait for those final scores to come in. They were trending just shy of a 67%. So we will see how that stacks up for our second Belgian rider rotation here in just a moment's time. Just 3 more tests to come today in this competition. We will have 2 more team tests. Germany and Denmark are current 2 nations at the top of the leaderboard. But before we get to them, we will be going to one of our individual nations again, this time to Croatia. and Daria Novinskaya, who rides Anton R. So we will catch up with them in just a moment. We prepare for them to enter the ring and we wait for those final scores for Elajune Bryers of Belgium and Decliner Prince. So, scores in now for Elajune Bryers. 68.429 from the judge at E, a 63.857 from the judge at H. It's quite a big discrepancy there. 67.286 from the judge at C, 67.857 from the judge at M, and a 66.714 from the judge at B, giving her a total score of 66.829. Ninth best test so far. She joins Pauline Halen and Gluckskind of Belgium, who scored a 68.286. And that will be Belgium's day done for the day now. We will take a look at that team leaderboard once we've seen our last two team riders.
Let's welcome now an individual.
That's two valuable scores for this early bid from Belgium, as we see Croatia's Daria Novinskaya, Anton R. entering the arena here. 14-year-old gelding of unknown breeding. Breeding can count for a lot in this sport, but with equestrian sports, heart and trainability can often count for so much more. So we will certainly not hold that lack of recorded breeding against lovely Anton R., who is owned by Olga Chebanina. Ponies' FEI career started just in June of this year. They've done one FEI show, so that was the Pony CDI at Hagen. That selection trial, which was so jam-packed with so many of the competitors we see here. So if you're going to have one under your belt, that's probably the one to have. Saw them putting mid-60s scores on the board there. Daria has not done a Pony European Championships before, but she's another rider who's done the Children European Championships on horses. Rode Fitzcarraldo last year at that competition. So coming in with some mileage. She's 15 years old and ready to show what she can do in this pony arena. So again, as an individual competitor, she will not be putting a score on the board that will count to any sort of medal at this point, but riders who are representing their nations as individuals must complete this test to be eligible for the individual competition on Friday and Saturday. So a really valuable chance at a warm-up under competition circumstances. And a really positive early start there, as I say, in their single FEI competition so far. They have mid-60s scorers, but at this very early stage, trending on a 68.667, which is a very competitive score today indeed. A nice half pass to the right there. So just dropping down a little bit in this walk work, trending now just shy of a 65%. That's where we're seeing a little bit of the tension coming in this pony. Sort of at first glance, looking in places as though he's taking a good large step with that front end, but it's not necessarily following through from behind, and some tension creeping through the shoulder there. So back up out of the walk work and into trot again now. And you see a really clear transition there from that right shoulder in, back onto the straightaway before turning down to approach this demi-vault figure. And already those scores starting to come back up again. Currently 66.267.
Daria Novinskaya et Anton
Just coming to the end of their test there for Croatia. Daria Novinskaya, Anton R. Some really nice work in the ring there. Just waiting for those scores to come in. They were trending on a 66.657, which would put them in 10th place at the moment. And that is exactly what their final score ends up being. 66.657. That comes from a 67.143 from the judge at E, 68 from the judge at H, 65.714 from C, 65.143 from M, and 67.286. So again, not a score that will count towards any chance of a medal for them, as this is the team competition, but a super start to their week and fantastic warm-up for the individual competition that they will return for later in the week. So just 2 riders left to come on day 1 here at the 2026 FEI Pony European Dressage Championships at Le Mans in France. And next in the ring is Germany again. So Germany are reigning champions. Germany currently holding the lead thanks to that 73.543 put on the board by Victoria Winkman and Peach earlier. Next in, it's going to be Lily von Heldorf riding Nabucco HW. This is an 8-year-old by FS Numero Uno out of Night and Day HW by Don Davidoff 5. Owned by Maria von Heldorf. This is a championship debut for both pony and rider, but they have put some very promising scores on the board at other shows. 73.228 in the team test at Hagen in that final selection trial.
And now let's welcome
Lily
Germany
15,
with,
but turning 16 in just over a week's time.
Team member Lily von Heldorf is going to turn 16 next week. and she started the international level in April 2023, earned the 4th place in Fontainebleau this season with Nabucco HW. This is the first time for her at the Europeans, so welcome and good luck, Lily.
So we will have our most experienced members of the German team coming forward for tomorrow, but these really exciting up-and-coming talents in the ring today. Getting the job done early on, Lily von Heldorf, first Europeans. No shortage of pressure coming in as part of the defending gold medal winning team, and also knowing that her teammate, the German pathfinder Victoria Winkman, did such a great test earlier, but Lily will know that her preceding marks with Nabucco HW are certainly up to the challenge. And we look forward to seeing what they can do in the ring in just a moment's time. Just waiting for that bell to signal that they can complete their final preparations and make their entry into the arena. So getting underway now for Germany, Lily von Heldorf, Nabucco HW. Very nice start. Early trending scores don't tend to necessarily mean too much because so much can change after that, but certainly giving a good overall first impression to the judges, who have them on a 77.5 at the moment, which would be far and away our lead if they can maintain it. Just a huge amount of cadence in this pony. You can tell there's an awful lot of movement there. It's a very big moving pony, but just really keeping the rhythm at the moment through some of these early figures. We see a little bit of a head bobble and a little bit of a loss of the quality of the contact there for a moment in that half pass to the right. But some nice lateral steps and certainly keeping that cadence throughout. Just trending now around a 73. As we come into the extensive walk tour here. And just a spook there in that walk work as they approach S on the long side there. Lily von Heldorf getting Nabucco HW back underway, but that will have an impact on that movement score. She will have that in her mind as well as she comes back down to this end of the ring in this shoulder in to the right. Whatever he saw, will he see it again? However, saying that, shoulder in, a very, very useful tool for spooky horses generally to get them past something that they don't like the look of. So you couldn't really be in a better movement to reapproach something that's already set your horse off. Quite often used as a training tool. These trending scores still sitting just shy of the 73% mark, so still very, very competitive position for them to be in. At the moment, that would have them ranked in second place individually and would certainly tighten Germany's grip on that gold medal that they are in hot pursuit of retaining. .543, still our best score in the clubhouse from Lily von Heldorf's teammate Victoria Winkman. Lily currently on that 73.304 trending score, so really a knife edge distance between our two German competitors so far. 73.4, she's just eking back a few more points in this canter tour. See her make a very clear give and retake of the reins there. It's a movement you want to be really careful with how you ride it, because it can be easy to feel as though you've taken the contact away completely for those couple of movements, but not be visually so obvious. So you have to make a big motion with your arms to make sure that it's very, very visible. But you also have to be careful not to unbalance your upper body in the process. Again, the intricacies of dressage. A sport that hinges on minutiae. Trending 73.8 right now. That is pushing her ahead of Victoria Winkman and Peach. The most important thing for these riders will be that team medal. These scores will not count towards individual medals. Just have to complete the test to be eligible to ride again to fight for those. But if you can get a great score in the ring in these team tests, not only will it help you fight for a team medal, but it'll also give you a huge amount of confidence coming back later in the week. Trending 74 at the moment. Will she be our new best of the day? Final halt and salute here. It's going to be great news for Germany either way. She manages that spook at the end there. That just goes to show what a great job she's done of managing this horse's energy throughout the test. We did see that one little spook in the walk, but otherwise it's been such a workmanlike, professional, lovely flowing test to watch, and you just see how he reacts to that noise there, and it just goes to show he has been fully trusting her throughout the test, and she's done it. She is our best of the day so far. Lily von Heldorf, Nabucco HW from the judge at E, 74.286. She just gives him a look there, lets him process. 74.857 from the judge at H, 75.571 from our judge at C, 74.571 from our judge at M. All four of those judges having them in the lead. Judge at B, curiously, has them in third place on a 72.286, but no matter. 74.314 is the final score for Lily von Heldorf, Nabucco HW. Best in the clubhouse so far. That gives us Germany 1 and 2 on the team standings, and we'll certainly have Germany sitting in gold medal position overnight. We will have a closer look in a moment at what that podium is going to look like at the halfway stage, but we have one more very important test to watch first. Our second rider for Denmark. Denmark, who after the first rider rotation were sitting in silver medal position. Denmark, who won the team bronze here last year. Our last rider of the day here will be Stephanie Horsted Deerland, riding Cosmopolitas, an 11-year-old Westphalian by Cosmopolitan NRW out of the mare Coco Chanel by Syriac WE. This pony is owned by Sus Regina Horsted Deerland. They were part of that bronze medal winning team here last year, so they know how to ride under pressure, and they know what it feels like to have a medal put around your neck. They have had a taste of that, and they will want more, and they will want better. This pony, only 11 years old, but actually a huge amount of experience, competed in the 2022 and 2023 European Championships with Lily Marie Collin of Germany. Won team gold on both those occasions and individual gold in 2023, so a former European champion, this pony. Stephanie made her FEI debut in April of last year. They are very, very consistent, low to mid 70s scorers. Most recent team test, they scored a 72.257, which would be a very, very, very valuable score if they can replicate it today. Ranked number 4 in the world. Stephanie, just 14, turning 15 next month. And you can just see as they enter here what a charismatic looking pony Cosmopolitas is. Huge neck and crest and a big strong shoulder, which is certainly something that contributes to beautiful flashy paces, but also takes no shortage of riding. But you just see how much jump and power you have coming through the hind end there. Sometimes you can see horses making big strides in front, but sort of dragging themselves along behind, but not so with Cosmopolitas NRW. Just a real bouncy ball of a pony from front to back. But with some great front to back separation as well. She's really able to move that shoulder over onto another track there. It is certainly clear to see why this is a pony that has been a part of so many medals and also has been a European champion in his own right. A very, very classy animal. Early stages here, but trending on a 74.833, which would be the best test of the day if they can pin that score down. Just starting their walk work now. So currently looking at a trending score of about 71.947 for Denmark's Stephanie Victoria Horsted Deerland and Cosmopolitas NRW as they begin their canter tour in this, the final test of the day on day 1 of team competition here at the FEI Pony European Dressage Championships. So it's still looking very competitive here as we come to the latter stages of this test. This pony whose trot work is definitely his party piece, but very consistent, very competitive. Final halt and salute there. Just a little bit of a swing of the hindquarters to the left, but Stephanie Victoria Horster Dillon thrilled with that from Cosmo Kalida's NRW, her partner, for last year's bronze medal as a team here for Denmark. He is himself the former Pony European champion for Germany in 2023. Two-time team gold medalist for Germany as well. So, final scores for them. 74.714, the judge at E putting them in first. The judge at H, 73.714, has them third. C, also third, 73.429. Third as well from the judge at M, 72.571. And in the lead again from the judge at B, 74.857. That gives them the total score of 73.857, which will be good enough for the second best test overnight. Splits up those two German competitors. Let's have a look at our team leaderboard. Our leader in the clubhouse is Lily von Heldorf and Nobuko HW. They scored a 74.314 for Team Germany. So Team Germany firmly holding the overnight lead on a total score after two riders of 147.857. Then we have Denmark very close behind them in silver medal position at the moment for Chef de Keep Lars Krogsgaard, 146.257. So that is just shy of 2 penalties. 1.6 penalties difference there. Bronze medal at the moment, Sweden, Chef de Keep Annette Svanberg, 138.458, so we are looking at a little bit more of a gap there. First and second currently very, very close, but the gap between third and fourth place is tight again. That is Great Britain, Tom Hobday, Chef de Keep, fourth place, and in fifth place at the moment, again, another tight margin. Belgium on a score of 135.115 for Chef de Keep, Elaine Rao. Netherlands sitting in sixth place at the moment, 134.686. France in seventh on a 132.057. Italy eighth, 130.086. Spain in ninth, 129.572. Austria 10th. Of course, just one rider so far, so they are on a 65.857 because the other scores all have two scores to count. So we can't really compare Austria in 10th and Finland in 11th at the moment because that is sort of a technicality that they are down at the bottom of our leaderboard for now. But it is Germany, it is Denmark, it is Sweden as we close out our second rider rotation. We will be back tomorrow with our last two rider rotations. We begin at 9:30 a.m. here in the Blue Arena at Le Mans. That is local time, 9:30 a.m. If you're watching along from the UK, you will be tuning in at 8:30 a.m. We will begin with our third rider rotation in the morning, and then we will have a very long lunch break as we rearrange this arena for the first phase of the eventing championships. They will come forward and do their dressage through the middle part of the day. And then we will be returning in the afternoon. So you will see us back for more action from 4:15 p.m. local time. So 3:15 p.m. if you're watching along from the UK for the fourth and final rider rotation. And then we will be deciding our team medals before looking ahead to the end of the week and the individual competitions. So thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure. We have seen some fantastic ponies, some fantastic riders, and we are so excited to see what comes tomorrow. That's all for us from now. I have been Tilly Barrett. This has been Clip My Horse, and you have been with us at the 2026 Pony European Dressage Championships at Le Mans. It has been a pleasure talking through ponies with you this morning, and we will see you again tomorrow morning. Goodbye.
together. Le Mans 2026.
Que tu es belle, que tu es belle, que tu es belle, que tu es belle.
Une chanson n'a pas fait ça.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said. Tell me quick, ain't love a kick in the head? Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in a boat?